Quick update on the Chevelle. This is the motor. It's an Lm7 out of an 04 Tahoe. It's generation 3 rods and pistons. Stock bottom end, except for I gapped the rings to 28 thousandths. They were a little bit tight, 16, 18 on some of them. With the ollie oil pan, it clears the A-body K-member nicely. LSX Innovation adapters for the stock motor mounts. This lets the motor sit down and low. It should let me use the stock transmission cross member for the Turbo 400, but if not, I have some adjustability. This oil pan has turbo drains on it on both sides. However, the way the motor sits in the car, I have no access to them. I tried several different things and I guess I gave up and just went with this Chinese timing cover. Hopefully it works. I'll have done upgraded the valve springs to accommodate, but with an Elgin cam. It's 583 lift, 112 degree lobe separation. I've heard them on the internet. I like the sound of them and they seem to make pretty decent power for the price. So I'm looking forward to hearing it. As far as the intake, so I went with an adapter. So this is a drive-by cable throttle body instead of the drive-by wire instead of the drive-by cable that would be on there. I did that so that I have some upgrade options going forward, but it's just going to be stock truck intake. Adapters on the stock fuel rails, 8 feed, 6 return, going with 1000cc snake eater performance injectors. That should be plenty for my goals. Guys are making 1,000 horsepower and I won't be anywhere near that with those. We'll just have a Duramax map sensor, 4-bar, and that's it for the intake. I wanted to show off my ugliest sin hot side. When I bought this engine, it did not have exhaust manifolds. So I went to the junkyard, found these on some Suburban, but they're all the same. So it's just a stock driver's side, except for I had to cut the collector off and angle it inward to clear the frame rails. And this does bolt up nicely if there's not an engine stand in the way. So just collectors, X pipe, collector, this is it. The passenger side's just flipped. So that would be back and down. Now it's up and forward into this 7875 T4 turbocharger. .44mm wastegate. Like the height. Should have no clearance issues vertically with the stock hood. Cold side piping should be nice and easy out. Intercooler intake. I'm really flirting with the idea of doing a fender exit on this guy. The passenger fender's kind of eaten up and it'll sound race car even if it's not. And I just like the look of them. I think they're sweet, but maybe it'll be too loud and I'll go out the back. And I wanted to show off the front suspension a little bit because when I got this car, It was sitting on 2x4s, were the only things supporting the front end. So I went over brakes a little bit. These are just some no-name upper control arms, but I did replace the ball joints with some Moog pieces. Lower control arms are stock, except for I cleaned them up and put new bushings and ball joints in. BMR 1-inch drop spring, Bilstein shocks. I don't know if you can see. Look at all that brake in there. Pretty excited about that. You can't really see. I did have to grind. See how close we can get. You see the stock caliper, or not the stock caliper, but I had to grind down the fins on the back of that. There's not a lot of room, but they fit, and that's exciting to me. Just Moog steering components. This is a steering box out of a 98 Jeep Grand Cherokee. Should be 12.5 to 1 turning, so it's significantly more than the 8.1 or something to 1 with stock. That's all we got for tonight though.